Hello and welcome. It's Maria. It is Friday night, and I just wanted to come quick on here to share something with you that was an eye opener for me. As a money coach, I should know these things, but it still caught me tonight. Anyways, if you're out there, say hello. I just wanted to really more of a public service announcement. I had three things for you tonight. So, first off, I was doing my banking. And if you're in any of my money programs, you know that I have a money date all the time. And today was the day. So I was wrapping up my month and I was going through my bills, I was paying things and all the stuff that goes with that, right? And I'm like, a phone bill, my cell phone bill. And I was like, okay, it's about the number that it should be. And something intuitively said to me, go look at it. Because nowadays, you don't way back when, you used to get your bill in the mail, you could look at it, you could go down and, scan through everything and pay it. Right now, everything's like you owe, $122. You get an email, but there's no bill attached to it. And you just pay it, or things are automatic, go onto your credit card automatically. And so today I said, you know what, I need to look at this because it seems to be creeping up a little bit. So I went on there, I looked, and on my phone bill, there was actually another account attached to it. There was another phone number. Somebody else, like another number attached to my phone bill. Small charges going through, but nonetheless, it wasn't mine. And I looked back and it had been going on for like 3 or 4 months, until like May or something like that. So, anyways, just a reminder to actually double check all your bills. I teach this, and I wasn't looking at it because it was only $5 more, but it was still they owed me $20 in the end. But I had this account attached to my account, and so I had to have that canceled. But on that same token, though, just as a reminder to look at your Visa statements. Way back when, in my 20s, I used to work for Visa part time at night in the Visa call center. And it's amazing what happens on a Visa bill. And a lot of it's just tech issues sometimes. Processors run double at night. All sorts of things can go wrong with a Visa. And a lot of people do not look at their bills. They don't. And they just, especially if you're not paying it in full every month, people are just making minimum payments, um, and you're not actually looking at what the charges are. So I encourage you to go through your bill every single month, look at it, make sure they're your charges. I had one this month that was, and it had to do with books, and it's like, books is probably mine, but it's like, I wasn't anywhere near anywhere, I had nothing automated. None of it made sense, right? And it was direct to a publisher. So things happen. So with that, make sure you always double check these things because these costs can add up. This was only $20. What if it was a year later when I finally noticed and I racked up, $100 or $200 worth of money that wasn't mine? And at that point, they don't have to give it back to you because you have like 30 days to tell them, right? I mean, they were gracious and gave me back, what's it, 4 months worth or whatever was going on in the account. Um, so remember to always go back and look at your bills at the end of the month. So that was number one. And all these things add up. And I want to also talk about this next piece in relation to that. This is about money consciousness and being aware of what you're doing with your money all the time. As I've got more experience in life, we'll just say. I had a doctor once, I was talking about aging, and he says, that's just maturation, Maria. So as I've matured, I my views on money and wealth and possessions have changed. Don't get me wrong, I love money. I love spending money. However, I only choose to do things that bring me a lot of joy now, more consciously than I would before. Before I was doing spending out of more emotional spending versus conscious spending. And so if that's you out there, just say hello in the comments there and send a little gift or something like that. And I'll tag you into something that's going on this month. And so I want you to think about that. Like when you go to the store, Costco is the that's it in a nutshell, right? You go into Costco for some apples and you come out $500 later, right? We've all been there a time or two, right? Now I can go into Costco and buy what I need and leave. I don't do a lot of um, emotional spending anymore. And when I feel myself going into that, because there's times, I mean, I've done all the money work over the years, right? And I teach this now. Um, when I go into a place where I'm feeling like I have the urge to go shopping, I sit and go, okay, what's that about? What's going on in my world that's not working, triggering me, whatever it is, and come back and deal with that versus going and spending money, right? So with that, I'm going to lead into number three, and that is I have a workshop coming up this month, and I wanted to invite you to that. And it's called Financial Freedom Formula. It's a 3-day workshop, and we're going to be diving into all things money mindset, debt. I haven't done debt, brought debt things into my workshop in quite a few years. My money coaching started out in uh, dealing with debt, and that's when I was a money breakthrough coach. And now I do more holistically. My wealth coaching is more holistic now, and so we're going to do money mindset, the debt piece, and manifesting. So those are the 3 evenings that we're going to be doing. It's a free workshop, and I'd love to have you join us for that. Bring along a friend or two. It is live. Uh, Coming to you through into the Facebook group. However, to get all the replays and stuff like that, you will need to register for it. I'll put the links below here, and I should have had it up on my screen, but I didn't today. Oh well. But I'll put it below, and you can just grab that. Or if I happen to miss it below, just put workshop, and I will make sure you get the link for it. So with that, remember, double check your bills all the time to make sure that what you're being charged is actually valid charges. You don't want to be paying for things that are not yours, right? The cost of living these days is going up. You don't need to be adding to it, right? It's enough as it is. And conscious spending. Think about the things when you're out spending money, look at your Visa bill. You know, if you're looking at your Visa bill to make sure the valid entries, look at it and go, was this conscious spending or was I just out spending money? And in today's world, I see so many more people just spending money. They just, and you know, I did it for years. I did it for years. And now I, I'm actually kind of gone the other way where I've had a harder time spending money. I just went to Montreal this summer and there was something I wanted. It was $85 and it was like, it was a frivolous purchase and it was so hard for me to spend the money. And I allocated myself spending money for my trip so that I could just buy whatever I wanted. And it was so hard for me just to do that because but I loved it. You know, it was something that meant a lot to me and it brought me joy. It did bring me joy. And so I'm just I swung a little too far that way. So I gotta come back to center a little bit. But I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to complain because I'd rather be a little bit further that way than overspending all the time because then you're losing quality of life at a certain point, which I'm going to talk about probably over the weekend. I wanted to share a little story. If you're on my newsletter that went out tonight, you'll know that story. And if you want to sign up to my newsletter, which goes out usually about once a week, I usually it's called a 2-minute transformation. And this week I was telling a story about my own money stuff from way back when. Anyways, I wanted to just bring you those 3 things tonight. Check all your bills to make sure that they're valid charges. And conscious spending, when you're looking at those bills, make sure that, you know, have a look and say, what am I doing with my money? And thirdly, join us for the workshop on the 18th to the 21st. With that, have an amazing night, everyone. See you later.